ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਜੋ ਹਨ ਸਕੂਲ ਇਜ਼ ਈਜ਼ੀ ਟਿਊਟਰਿੰਗ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਤੋਂ ਸੂਜ਼ਨ ਕੰਬਰਲੈਂਡ। ਕਿਉਂ ਟਿਊਟਰਿੰਗ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ? ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਪਰਵਰਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਟਦੇ, ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਅੱਜ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸੂਜ਼ਨ ਕੰਬਰਲੈਂਡ ਤੋਂ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ।
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So Susan, a little bit about yourself. What is your background?
Well, I myself am a certified teacher, and I taught for many years. I also worked in marketing at an ESL college, which gave me a bit of business background.
Right.
I have my master's in educational leadership, which is helpful in this business.
Okay.
And I founded SCHOOLISEAS Tutoring in 2002.
Wow, and that's way back. It's been over 14 years now.
It has, and it's going great.
Wonderful. So basically, what prompted you to think in terms of starting a tutoring center, which is different from others, because School is Easy is a unique concept, whereas you send teachers to people's homes, and it's not the other way around that there's an office where students come and get education.
Yeah, I got the idea. Well, you know, I'm not the first person to do it, actually. There are other people doing it. But of course, I've tweaked it to my own style. And I think that our strengths are that we let the parents pay as they go, because you know, I don't force them into a contract to do a certain number of hours. Sometimes the student just needs a bit of study skills, and then they're right on track again, or they need to fill in a concept that they're missing.
Right.
So I think that's good, and we work with certified teachers.
Right.
Yeah.
What about, let's talk a little bit about the education trends, what we are seeing over the past decades. Where do you find education to be going? Are they the same concepts which were there 30 years back? Still those things are continuing. What difference do you find in the youngsters and the students? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think the most important thing is we have a lot of the Asian influence, a lot of the immigrants bringing their ideas, their backgrounds. They're very much into education.
Okay.
So much so that we have to raise ourselves to the standards. I was brought up here, and when I went to college, it wasn't as difficult to get into college.
Right.
Now it's so extremely competitive. So the kids really do not need that extra edge if they want to get into a good college.
Okay.
So I think the competitiveness is what I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, from the countries where we come, when you talk about the demographics changing, the Asian influence, the countries we come from, generally there is a different system of education where much emphasis is given on remembering the things, you know, that rote system what we talk about.
Yes.
Now when we come over here, first of all, it's a complete difference that in the schools, generally a child doesn't go to the school before he or she is 5 years old. Whereas in our countries, they start from 2 years onwards, they are sent to the school.
Yes.
And over here we find that till the time the child is in grade 4 or 5, there is no work given and the child hardly does anything. Whereas in those countries from where we come, India or China, there the child is given lots of work at home also. So what do you foresee, and what impact is it having over here?
Well, to be honest, our biggest customers are the immigrants.
Right.
Because they are concerned about that. But our Canadians who were born here, like myself, my children are having to compete with that.
Right.
So the Canadians are stepping up to that standard. So yeah, they are looking to tutoring. They're looking to things to give their child the, you know, that one up, or should I say one up, just that extra to keep them competitive.
Right. So when we talk about help as such, organizations like yours, you go to people's homes and teach over there. Why do you think that there shouldn't be one office where all the children come instead of going to the people's homes?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think some parents might like to drop off their kids and pick them up later. That there's a market for that.
Right.
But some parents like to be at home and have the tutor come to their house so that it's convenient. They can, you know, the mother can cook dinner while the tutor's there, and they don't have to rush home from the tutoring center picking up and dropping off. So it's convenient. And we're very good about scheduling because it is one-on-one. They tell us what times they want and we fit that right in. We have a team of teachers ready to go. And if they say they need Tuesday between 4 and 5, we're quite likely to be able to get someone.
Well, that's wonderful. And I think also there's a one-on-one coaching. Basically, at the coaching centers, there are many other students, and I don't think so there would be any difference between a class and a coaching room as compared to where there's a one-on-one interaction between the student and the teacher at home.
Yeah, absolutely. So that teacher can concentrate on that student's individual needs. Of course, it's very effective.
Right. Susan, as I asked you before, also you have a wide experience of being in the education field. What are you finding? What are the changes you are seeing in the students from yesteryears and today with the technology just on their hands?
Yeah.
Is it helping them, or it is kind of, I would say, a barrier for their success?
Well, you know what? There's a lot of discussion about that. It's a very controversial topic. Some people are very against it, some are for it. That's a tough question. I could talk for 20 hours about that one, but it's changing, and I'm trying to stay open to it because it's different from what I know. But my kids are doing it. They come home and they do their homework with other kids, FaceTime.
Right.
And I think that's great.
Right.
It's kind of odd that the kid's not sitting with them, but they're always connected with their friends.
Right.
And in schools, it's definitely, it's good.
Right.
In that they use the technology. I'm not in the classroom right now, so I don't really know what's going on, but I hear that they're using computers in the
yes,
schools.
things are changing at a fast pace.
Yeah.
But how will it impact businesses like yours? Because as streets are getting crowded, the roads are jam-packed, and people with interaction through technology can directly interact with the teacher sitting at home also via web, or like you were talking about FaceTime. So do you think over the years organizations like yours also will have to change their approach and will have to come up with these ideas?
Yes, we already do offer online tutoring.
Okay.
Yes, some of the students are choosing to do that. Some of them do a mix. They'll meet with the teacher for an hour a week and then do an online hour as well. So possibly that might be the way the world's going.
Right, cost effective as well as more interaction, direct one-on-one approach also can be there.
Yes, but for us, absolutely, the online tutoring is very easy to do.
Right.
No problem.
So let's talk a little bit about now the kind of services what you provide. From which grade onwards do you think a child should be given the support? Is it at the lower level classes or only at the higher level when they reach the higher school, then only they need support?
Okay, so in the early years, I often see a child, they get asked by the teacher to read out loud. It's very embarrassing when they can't. So if you can get your child that extra support so that when they're in the classroom, they're asked to read in front of everyone, they can do it. I think that's important. So get those kind of skills going, get their esteem, self-esteem up there.
Right.
However, most of our calls come for grade 10, 11, and 12 because this is when the grade point average is of a concern and they really need to do well academically, plus all the other things. The colleges are not just looking for academics, they expect high academics, but they also expect them to do volunteer work and take care of their physical. A well-rounded person is what I'm trying to say. So we do help with that too.
Okay.
Our counselors can help them apply for college and have a well-rounded application showing that they're
wonderful. Let's go for a short break. We'll come back and learn more from you because this is a very important point what you touched upon. It's not just academics, it's your personal development also. Your self-esteem has to be strong. And then at a phase when you are about to choose a career also, ultimately during this period, you have to go to the college and select one course where ultimately your life is going to depend upon that.
Yes,
so how you support and what kind of support can be taken by the students, we'll learn more after this short break. ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੂਜ਼ਨ ਕੰਬਰਲੈਂਡ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸਹੀ ਪਰਵਰਿਸ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹ ਹੋਣੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਅੱਜ ਬਦਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਇਨਫਲੂਐਂਸ ਵਧ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਟ ਪੇਸ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਐਕਸਟਰਾ ਹੈਲਪ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। one-on-one ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਚਿੰਗ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਨਾਲ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਸਮਾਂ ਵੀ ਬਚਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਬੱਚਾ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਲੀ ਟੀਚਰ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਟਰੈਕਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਲੈ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਲੈਣ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ, ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਕੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਟਿਊਟਰਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੀ।
They have always been there for me. From getting my dream car to celebrating life's special moments. always bringing us joy. And now my loved ones can make them a part of their life story. Family is what you make, and they are a part of mine. Basant Motors.
तो स्वागत करते हैं जी एक बार फिर आप सब ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਥ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਸੁਜ਼ਨ ਕੰਬਰਲੈਂਡ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਟੀਚਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜ ਕੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਆਓ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਕਿ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਇਹ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਵਾਂਸ ਅਗੇਨ So before the break, we were talking about that youngster who is at that critical phase when in high school he or she is going to apply for the college or the university where they want to go. There's so much of pressure. The child doesn't know anything at that time. Parents are also confused because they don't know what to tell a child. So over there, when we talk about counseling as such and tutoring, what kind of tutoring services can be beneficial to the parents as well as to the teacher, as well as to the students?
Yeah. In the schools, they have a course called Career and Personal Planning, and it's a great course.
Right.
So the students do aptitude tests to try and find out what they want to do and choose the courses. So the school's doing a good job. Sometimes the teenagers aren't sharing that information with their parents.
Right.
So, you know, to bring in one of our counselors who teaches the course, they can bring all of that home, and so the parents are there, you know, watching the whole process, and they're having the discussion with their child in the home.
Right.
So that's a good thing.
Okay. And Susan, parents also are confused. The teacher who comes tells or teaches the student. Now, what do you, with your experience, feel that the parents should support? How can they support the child apart from just providing them those tutorial services?
They should be open and speaking to their child about what they want to do. Of
Right.
course, keep close relationship with your kids and talk about that, and talk about different professions. Look at the people you know and say, look, he's doing that, he seems happy, why don't we talk to him about being a optometrist or
Right.
something? So you just have the discussion with them.
So interaction with the child is very important. At that time.
Yes, yes.
And also when the teacher is there, you know, there's a very close bonding between the student and the teacher. And while you are learning something from the teacher, you're also interacting and talking about various other things also probably with the child.
Yes.
At that time, with your experience over this past 14 years since you have been doing this business, what would be your advice? I would finally say that is tutoring service just for 1 hour, that period which is spent, or it should be, it can be a much more better experience for the child also, where they can grow, you know, mentally, physically, as you were talking before, that they need to understand the basic concepts.
Yes. So, of course, the teacher is going in to teach the content of the course.
Right.
Absolutely. And often the teacher is a good role model. It's another adult in the student's life to look up to and ask questions.
Right.
So, I'm sure that during the tutoring sessions, there's a little bit of, you know, talk about their problems, perhaps. And so, it's good to have another adult mentoring.
If our viewers want any more information about this particular subject as to how they can help their children, where they can contact you?
They can contact us at 1-877-ITS-EASY or go to our website, SCHOOLISEAS.com.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for your wisdom and experience of letting us know as to how you know, teachers can help students sitting at their homes, going over there and helping them out. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you so much.